Henry is a big green engine. He pulls long, heavy trains down the main line. At times, he's a bit pompous and sometimes a little rude. But Henry has a spot near the woods. It was called the Whistling Woods. Henry couldn't quite explain what it was, but the feeling of the forest always made Henry feel happy. One morning, at Tidmouth Sheds, the engines were getting ready to begin their day's work. Gordon, as usual, was complaining.
"Oh, why must mornings come so early?" he groaned. "Don't they know the express engines need their rest?"
Maybe, if you didn't talk so much about yourself, you'd have time to sleep, Henry snickered.
You're in a good mood today, Henry. Why is that?
Quizzed James. I'm heading to the timber mill near the Whispering Woods. The timber is being shipped off to London to be used for track repairs. I always enjoy the trip through the Sodor region. The birds, the trees, the clean air. It's so peaceful.
Pah! Nothing like a station. Trees don't wave their flags or take photographs of you, now do they?
Maybe that's because if the trees saw you, they'd run for cover. Henry laughed as he rolled off to the timber mill. Have a safe trip, Henry, Emily whistled. Henry happily clattered along the main line, thinking about what the woods would be like today. But as Henry puffed through the woods, he noticed that something was odd about the trees. That's weird. Why are the trees marked? Henry pondered as some of the trees had X's drawn on them, and Henry pondered this for the rest of the day. Douglas was at the lumber mill, and he backed down next to Henry. Hey, Henry, are you all right? Asked Douglas. I'm curious, Douglas. Do you know what's going on in the woods? I do. There's a crew coming from the mainland. They're gonna cut the path to make a new road. Henry gasped as he heard this. What? They can't do that. The forest is home to the animals. Ah, no, Henry. It's a shame, but there's naething we can do. And Douglas puffed away without a word, leaving Henry alone, simmering quietly with his thoughts. Later on, Henry decided to take the return route through the forest. But as Henry approached the signal box, he heard heavy machinery approaching the trees.
What on earth is that racket?
He wondered, turning his attention toward the noise. To his surprise, Miss Jenny and the pack were there, along with some machines that Henry had never seen on Sodor before. Can we build it? Chanted the digger.
Yes, we can!
Chanted some of the vehicles.
Yeah, I think so.
Not if it means destroying the forest, Henry muttered from afar. Soon, all the construction vehicles were ready for work. Miss Jenny came up to give the orders. Everyone, meet our new friends from Sunflower Valley. This is Scoop, Muck, Dizzy, Lofty, and Rolly. They've come to help us build the new road for the visitor center. It's a great big job, so we'll need all the help we can get. You can count on us, ma'am, Dizzy cheered as she stood up on her hind wheels. We're definitely grateful for your help, added Jack.
I heard Sodor's also really scenic,
Rolly chimed in. I bet we'll see a wild deer, or a badger, or maybe even a bear. No bears. I don't like bears. Having heard enough, Henry rolled forward and whistled loudly, disturbing the other members. You may not mean to, but you're about to destroy the heart of the Whispering Woods. By goodness, Henry, what's wrong? Asked Miss Jenny. This forest is special, Miss Jenny. So many animals live here, and I love this place. It's the only quiet stretches of track on the main line that I go and feel like myself, lamented Henry. The pack and the can-do crew were both silent as they took Henry's words into account. Henry's right. I've seen deer and foxes here, I even saw a family of owls last winter, Oliver reminded. It's not like any job site, Miss Jenny. It's like nature's living room, Alfie rumbled in agreement. Miss Jenny was lost in thought. I understand, Henry. I really do. But Sir Topham gave us the green light. Oh, but it still sounds terrible, gasped Lofty. What if you built a boardwalk instead? That way people can walk around the woods without damaging the trees, Henry thought. And what if we reroute the access road to go around the other trail? We won't have to fell anywhere near as many trees, Jack added. Does this mean you'll reconsider? Asked Henry. Yes, we will, said Miss Jenny, and the two crews got to work. Jack, Scoop, Muck, and Oliver went about tipping as little trees as possible, whilst Dizzy and Rolly went about making the new trail. Lofty went about picking up the old tumbled-down trees and replanting new ones where they could. There you go. Now you'll grow safe and sound, little tree. That's the idea, Henry said. And a week later, the construction was done. The road carefully went around the trees, attracting many visitors who loved seeing the trees. Looks like your forest got a second chance, smiled the driver. Yes, and maybe we all did too, the big engine sighed in contentment as Sir Topham Hatt and Miss Jenny both came over to congratulate him. Spot on, Henry. You'd make a mother proud. Yes, indeed. You are quite a resourceful engine, I might add. It's something I've learned over the years, sir, admitted Henry. He was gonna say more, but before he did, a man wearing a checkered shirt, overalls, and a yellow hat came running from the boardwalk. He seemed to be in a hurry. Sir Topham Hatt! Miss Jenny! I'm sorry I'm late. My flight got delayed. Turns out there was a bolt loose in Jeremy's engine. Oh, it's quite all right, Pub. In fact, you're right on time to see Miss Jenny's newest project, thanks to Henry. And the four took in the sight of the forest, Henry amongst them being the happiest of all. The forest was saved.